and welcome to the 2022 Virtual Leaders Update this month here in April. Got a few things lined up to go over this evening. First thing we're going to go over is some quick housekeeping rules, right? You can see us and hear us, right? But we can't see you or hear you using the Zoom webinar feature. So please make sure that you can use the Q&A feature to ask any questions or things like that, right? Don't use the chat feature. The Q&A is what we're going to be looking at to answer questions and things like that that you may have for the various topics that we're going to be talking about this evening, okay? And we are recording this session and will be available up on our YouTube channel within a couple days following the meeting. So let's kind of run through what we've got coming up. Myself as the camp director, Jerry Reed, assistant camp director, Jacob Huff, program director, and Andy Connell, assistant program director. We'll all be talking to you at various points this evening. And our director of outdoor adventures, John Bickle, is helping moderate, and we'll probably answer a few questions in the chat and may chime in if we need them. But here's who you're going to be working with this evening. Very excited to be here for our second virtual leaders update as we approach the summer of 2022. So we're going to go over some important dates and things like that that are coming down the pike. We're going to go over a few quick program updates, little tweaks and changes that we've made as we've kind of gone through and continue to refine certain things for the summer. We'll talk about our theme shirts that can be customized for each unit and getting the sale started with that. Have a few mealtime messages hitting on points related to food. All right. And then we're going to go into a program deep dive for the afternoon adventures and how that different afternoon programming will be lined up and operating this summer. So I'm going to hit on some important dates first up for us. Right. So campership deadlines for any Creative Liberty Council units was April 1st. Okay. Those are currently being reviewed by members of the council camping committee. And those hopefully are to be announced within the next week or two, right? April 22nd being our deadline. So just a little under 2 weeks until those camperships are going to be announced for anyone that's waiting to hear back on campership allotments and things like that, right? May 15th is when the full payment is due for this summer. So this is something with Black Pug, right? Full payments due for everyone at that point, including your crossovers. Trying to get as much as the much of the camp fee put into place before we start the summer. That way we don't have to worry about fees or anything like that once we get into camp, and we can just sit back and all have some fun while we're up at camp. Our next leaders update, and we'll talk about this at the end as well, is going to be on May 31st, right? This is when we're going to have any final updates and tweaks and changes that might be coming in line for the summer. And that is also when your pre-camp surveys are going to be due. We'll send that out probably on May 1st. And you'll have a month or so to fill out that survey, giving us some key information of things that you might be interested in, things that you feel like we need to know in order to make your stay in camp a little bit better. And then June 10th, right, about 2 weeks after that final update, right, you'll receive your campsite and your check-in times. We'll be able to share those with you via email, and hopefully be able to accommodate you based upon survey data and things like that. And just a reminder, right, our 2022 fees, anyone that was in with the early bird, $475. The regular rate for scouts signing up now is $505, right, and then $200 for a week per adult. And if you have any other questions about dates and fees and things like that, you can put them in the Q&A as we're answering and moving along. All right. If you have not checked it out yet, we have our 2022 program guide highlighting all aspects of what's going to be happening in camp this summer. That is up on the website. Kind of streamlined the guide this year. We had two guides for a little while there, and now we're streamed it down just to one with everything that you need to know about your stay in camp. So please make sure you check that out. Lots of key information in there, lots of information to share. At this point, we're going to hop over to our program team, who are going to share with you some quick updates about the program for this summer.
All right, so hello, Andy here, Assistant Program Director. I was just gonna hit some quick program updates. First, you can see Resica Rangers, we're doing some adjustments here. We're bringing back swimming merit badge for the Rangers. Of course, same policy, they'll need to pass the swim test in order to work on swimming merit badge. That is like the second requirement, swimming merit badge, we can't really circumnavigate that one. Morning program, again, Rangers, it's gonna be just the morning, like the merit badge opportunities. So that way in the afternoon, the Rangers can participate with the rest of their troop in the afternoon program, which Jacob is going to address a bit more. ATV program, 16 plus years or older for the morning training sessions. However, previous certification and pre-registration is going to be required for afternoon sessions. That way you don't have to spend as much time training and make sure they're ready to ride. They come in with that cert, with that pre-registration, and then you get started pretty well, pretty soon. Program ages, some confusion. Ages in Black Pug are a recommendation. So some of the badges might have this age, that age. That's simply a recommendation based off of the skill, knowledge, and kind of intensity of a merit badge. But like if you know your scout, you know your scout's better than us. So if you know they really know their stuff about one of the badges, take that as a recommendation. But there are programs that do have age requirements. ATV, as mentioned before, is 16 or older. High Five is 13 years or older. And then Red Cross Lifeguard is also 15 years or older. Those are the only programs that have a hard and fast age requirement. And then pre-camp swim tests. Super beneficial to get it done ahead of time. That way, you know, you can kind of identify scouts ahead of time that might want to work on their swimming skills. That way, when they come to camp, they can get to swimmer and make use of all the opportunities we have. You can select offerings by the Cradle Liberty Aquatics Committee to kind of help get dates and staff that'll help do it before camp. And dates and registration for that are coming out soon. Awesome. I saw a question pop up with Steve flagged for answering live. I'll just address this now. With the ATV age, camp guide said 14. That was a bit of a typo. It is 16 plus. That is the policy we are using this summer.
Yeah, and having that the higher age range also allows for more riders to participate in the program. From the ATV Safety Institute, the organization that puts on the certification, right? They have different ratios based upon age, and based upon some past experiences, the older scouts seem to be able to be more comfortable and handle the ATVs, and by and large end up having a few less problems with handling the vehicles than some of the younger scouts. So that's why we've made that change to 16 plus, so we can have more participate in the program and also kind of make sure everyone's fully capable of handling that ATV. And to bring up the point about the revising the program guide, we'll absolutely be making sure that we note things that are changed, whether we put that in there in red or anything like that. When we roll out any program guide updates, we'll send that along as well. All right. Our next little plug here is going to be for our SEEK program. SEEK is our program where we sort of transition from camper to camp staff. And that is a great opportunity. It's a 3-week program. We have 2 sessions of it that runs from weeks 1 through 3 and then 4 through 6. 2 trained staff members that are there guiding those people through the process. It's not only a great transition tool from camper to camp staff, it is in general just a strong, we feel a strong leadership program that we've put in place and designed, continuing to refine and grow that program as we continue now with the 2nd year of it. So if you have any scouts that are interested in joining camp staff in the future, or looking to spend a little extra time in camp for a different type of experience than what is a traditional summer camp stay, I highly encourage them to sign up for Seek, become a part of that program. It is really a great time. Lots of the scouts that participated in the program last summer are back with us on camp staff this year and are really, really excited and full of energy. So hopefully we can keep that momentum going. There's a couple questions here about clarification with the Rangers and the merit badges. Rangers will now be earning swimming, have the opportunity to earn swimming in addition to nature. So it's not replacing the nature merit badge, right? We're going to have them have the chance to get nature along with swimming, and then some of those rank requirements as well. All right. Looks like we're kind of got a lull in questions right now. So let's bounce over to the man, the myth, the legend, Jerry Reed, to talk a little bit about our 2022 theme shirts and then some mealtime messages.
Good evening. That's much better. All right, we're off and running with our new theme shirts this year. We have the supplier on board, and we're ready to rock and roll with the new theme shirts. They're going to be, they're a little washed out on this picture. They're a little tan, if you can't tell. That's not an off-white. It's a little bit of a tan shirt here. And, we just have to place the orders, and we're doing that as well through Black Pug. And we just need your troop number and the hometown where we put on the back for you here. And you will be able to pick them up at the check-in down at the Resica Falls Elementary School. With that, we have to order the shirts about 4 weeks out, and so we get your correct sizes and what troop number you need and hometown. So weeks 1 through 3 have to be ready and in Black Pug by May 23rd. And then weeks 4 to 7 have to be in Black Pug by June 13th. We had a good number of troops last year sign up for the theme shirts, and we hope that continues this year. So it's a pretty neat design, and we're ready to rock and roll. Shoot me any questions if you have on the question thing, and we'll answer them for you. Cool. Thanks. And some things, I guess we'll do some dining hall updates, I guess, or something like that. Some tidbits here. Again, we're going to have 2 seatings in the dining hall this year. So we've cut one down, so that's good. We will also have the 2 big tents outside if you would like to eat outside, and we can assign you outside or tables inside, either way. We will breakfast and dinner will be served family style. And so you will need waiters for breakfast and dinner, and lunch will be the cafeteria style. And we'll have our kind of salad bar and extra stuff right down on the middle of the dining hall there. So you come in and pick up your food and sit anywhere you want at that point. And So that's the dining hall. The food allergy forms will be up on the website shortly, and they'll be directly we'll go directly to Arrowmark. All right. So what else? Outdoor seating, family style. Cool. Maybe we're going with Arrowmark again. We've met with Arrowmark, and we're ready to roll with them. One other thing. Another note is 2 people per tent this summer. So we're going to go back to the original tentage of two people to a tent. And so hopefully we get a lot more guys in the campsites and things like that. So don't be afraid to bring extra people. I think we'll be okay this summer with the tentage. All right. I think that's it for me. Can't wait to see you at camp. Thanks.
All right. Cool, Jared. Thank you. A couple people have been asking questions about the shirts. Someone wanted to know what material it was. It'll be a simple cotton blend shirt, nothing typical beyond a normal shirt. And the cost for the t-shirts, we are still waiting to hear back from that vendor on what the final cost will be. Once we have that, we'll send you out the link for ordering the shirts and include the prices with that, so you can kind of know what the cost will be. Right, because it typically in the past they've been around $15 per shirt. But with various supply issues and things like that, the vendor's trying to see what they can work. So we're waiting for them to hear back what the deal's going to be. So once we know, we'll be able to let you know what the deal will be with those shirts.
Yeah, we were hoping for the price tonight. I was pushing for that, but that didn't happen. So hopefully hopefully within the next week, we'll put it on the website, and we'll hop on and do your ordering. Great, thanks.
Right. Yep. And then it'll be a whole separate form in Black Pug. Whoever just asked that question, so it won't be part of your current registration. There'll be a different form that you will fill out. You'll provide your troop number, your hometown, and the sizes that you need, and we'll send, like Jerry said, we'll send all that out to you once we get that all together. And then, yep, the food form is going live as we speak. So that will be there, and you can have that form done and ready to go to start putting out. So at this point, right, we're going to start advertising our service days. We have 2 more service days coming up on April 23rd and June 4th, right? 2 Saturdays. Great opportunity to come out to camp, get some work done, help us get ready for the summer. Any troop that wants to come out and participate in what is happening on these days and participate in the service can receive free camping, get a free ground site for the troop, come have some fun with us and get things ready. Earlier this month, we had our first service day on April 2nd, and we were able to move old tent platforms out of 2 campsites and move new platforms into those campsites. So we're making big progress, really moving along. So come join us on April 23rd or June 4th. Help us get ready for the summer. Also, at this time, we're going to now transition over to our program director, Jacob Huff, who's going to do a little deep dive for us on the afternoon adventures, right? Our new afternoon program opportunities for this summer. Take it away, Jacob.
All right, hello. Sorry, I was typing an answer to a question. All right, so we have our merit badges that we're taking in the morning, and our afternoons. We have blocked out over 50 unique adventures for your unit to do, or patrols to do, or buddy pairs to do. If you're sharing a campsite with another unit and you want to work together and do something fun, possibly go play some sports against each other, you can do that as well. So there are going to be 3 afternoon program blocks that are blocked out, minus Wednesday, which is our camp-wide activity. It's our Jungle Boogie, so our camp-wide games. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're going to have those 3 afternoon program blocks blocked off. We have adventures designed for both buddy pairs, patrols, or entire units. Just down lower here, it says our afternoon guide will be coming soon. And within that guide, we're going to be kind of showing what different activities will work best for what size groups, whether it be that buddy pair, a patrol, or an entire unit. Sometimes some might be a patrol or an entire unit, kind of depending on how many are coming or things like that. If your whole unit decides they want to do something, such as possibly take a hike, you have a couple of scouts that are saying, hey, we're a little bit behind on one of our merit badges. Is it okay if we stay back and work on a help session at a particular program area? That's okay also. You just want to make sure that you know where those scouts are at and make sure they're with their buddy as well. But really, it's very customizable. Your senior patrol leader will take a look through that guide, go over some of the options or all of the options with your unit at some of the upcoming planning sessions for camp within the meetings that you would be having. And you're going to kind of flesh out what those adventures that you want or what your scouts want will be. And they'll take a look at maybe a couple of backups or backup times just in case they aren't able to get something on a day that they want. And they'll be able to then meet with each program director, which each area director, along with myself and Andy on Sunday evening at camp when you arrive. And then you'll be able to sign up for those different activities. So you're going to have things like troop shoots. You're going to have skill sessions. So you'll be able to go and watch a demo of blacksmithing, possibly at the shop. Or you might want to take a look at how our trout hatchery works on property and where the trout come from in our in the bush kill. And we can do things like that. If you want to take a trip to one of our swimming holes, so you might want to say, hey, we want to go to Cool Dip. And immediately following, you want to maybe hike back and take a look at some of our nature. We could drop off one of our nature staff to hike back with you to go over some of the local flora and fauna. So there's just a lot of opportunities that will be offered that you guys can sign up for. So each program area will have different things that you'll be able to do, as well as those help sessions. And the help sessions really are if you have a scout that maybe is coming with a partial that they only need 1 or 2 requirements, they can come and work on those particular items. If you have a scout that needs assistance with their basket or assistance with maybe their shooting technique in archery or rifle or shotgun, those are the types of things that we're looking at. If a scout misses a couple of days because they're doing something else and they want to come and get entire lessons taught to them, that might not be the best time to do that. You can always talk to the area director and see when they'd be able to make that time up. But this is more of just assistance with particular skills that they might be working on in those areas. Let me see. Yeah, and definitely those troop trips as well. So we have 4,200 square acres at Resica Falls Scout Reservation. It is a massive reservation, and there's just a lot to do. Hiking trails all over the place, as well as the swimming holes that we have on property as well. So I know one of those also we had talked before about ATV. There will be an ATV adventure on the afternoons for Monday, Tuesday, and then again for Thursday, Friday, for those that have already taken the ATV program, where they'll be doing a refresher on the first day of that, and then doing a little bit of riding, and then on the second day going out for a more substantial ride. so that they can use that certification that they, spent all that time on another summer getting. So we wanted to make sure that we added some opportunities for those scouts that did, do those extra things as well. I'm going to take a look and see if there's any questions in the Q&A that need answered. Is there a sheet with listed available troop trips and extra adventures? Yes, we're going to be putting out shortly an afternoon adventure guide, which specifically goes over all of those 50 unique adventures, including the troop trips, including the afternoon adventures, as well as designating, hey, this might be better for buddy pairs or patrols or entire units. Some of them, again, will be blended. If a patrol wants to go and watch a blacksmithing demonstration, that's excellent. But they'll say, hey, we have this going on now at this time, a patrol signed up. So you might have a couple of buddy pairs show up to watch and things like that as well. So there will be some that are like that. Cowboy action shooting will be available again this year, Thursday evening, as part of our Twilight activities. Opportunities to get camp and trail cooking in camp with your troop. You can sign up for food requisition with the kitchen to get different foods that you can pack out with you. So if you would take a troop trip, those usually are over those afternoon blocks. But if you wanted to take one over lunch or that's going to go over dinner, you can do that. You'll coordinate the times of those troop trips with your commissioner once you get to camp, but you'll also be able to get that food requisition. So you could take that food part of the way and find a good spot to cook that on a camp stove, or if you're hiking somewhere that has a fire pit, almost such as the lake or something like that on the far side of the lake would have that fire pit. So if there is one available, you would be able to do that. Yes, again, Cowboy Action will be happening again this year on Tuesday evening. Lifeguard available for the water hole. Andy, you're typing that in. Very good. He cannot do ATV this year. We did talk about that to make sure that we're able to get the most people in the class. It is 16 plus. That allows us to have more people taking the class. With 14 and older, that it cuts the class sizes substantially. Yeah, if somebody is signed up for merit badges, they're not happy with the badge that they signed up for, they can always look and see I'd have them look and see what's available before they cancel out of that merit badge, because they don't want to cancel out of it and then find out that they're not happy with any of the replacements either. So that way they can look through and see what is there that they would still like to do. Then they could drop that one and sign up for another one. If you get to camp and there are still issues with what badge that a scout wants to take, they can always come see either Andy or myself in the office, and we can work through some of those as well. Cowboy Action will be available this year, Thursday evening. There is a special permission slip for Cowboy Action. That will be on the, I believe it's important documents on the Resica Falls website, which is resicafalls.org. And there isn't a specific COPE class this year. We will have climbing merit badge, and staff permitting. If you would like to sign up for a couple of the low elements to work on team building or something like that as one of the afternoon adventures, you could talk with our high adventure director or have your senior patrol leader talk with that director as one of those adventures. Talk to that director on Sunday evening at camp when you're registering for the afternoon adventures. So that is something that may be a possibility. Again, you want to make sure that you have those backups as well. So if you look and you say, hey, we want to do that, but it's not available for a certain time that you wanted, you should have a backup. We also will be running Twilight Cope. Usually is the climbing tower and then the zip line. And that is on Thursday evening as well. So you kind of have to pick and choose. Do I really want to do Cowboy Action? Do I really want to do the Twilight Cope? Or do I want to split the group up and do that? But this is kind of a deep dive in those afternoon adventures. If you have questions beyond what we went over here, especially once you start taking a look at that afternoon adventures guide, feel free to email me. Again, that's jacob.huff@resicafalls.org, and I'll answer whatever questions I can for you. It is going to, hopefully, it's going to be excellent. Again, there are so many opportunities at the camp that we have. I'm really excited that we're able to open those up for everybody to have more time to do. Sometimes we're so filled up with other things that we can't do the really fun things here, but we have them all planned out. So that's going to be excellent. It's going to be really fun. Cowboy Action is, it's for scouts that are, have passed 8th grade or have reached a certain age limit. I can't remember if it's 13 plus or 14 plus. It'll say on the website 13 plus. And the scouts have to get their parents' signature to participate, but you will be able to have the scouts, if they get that permission slip signed, shoot a lever action 22 rifle, a 22 action single action revolver, and a 20 gauge stagecoach shotgun. All right, so Steve Hutchins, thank you. It's Cowboy Action is 14 plus or have passed the 8th grade. Age requirement for the climbing tower and zip line. No age limit for that.
All right, cool. Thank you, Jacob.
You're welcome.
I
was going on and on, but
yep,
we're good.
So at this point, we're very excited for what the afternoon adventures will hold for us. And someone asked in the chat when we could expect the guide. I kind of responded in there, but probably going to be able to have that out within the next 2 weeks. So you'll be receiving that guide along with the t-shirt information in the same time in the next few weeks. So we're very excited for what's coming with all the great opportunities that Jacob and Andy have lined up for this new afternoon adventures program. As we kind of said earlier in the evening, our next virtual leaders update is going to be on May 31st. It's a Tuesday evening. We've had them on Mondays the last couple, certainly these two this year and most of the ones last year. People have asked that maybe we have one not on a Monday evening. So this May 31st is a Tuesday evening. So we'll changing up the availability and the scheduling there. But at that point, we'll have lots more information, any changes and things like that as we're coming to get closer and closer to the summer camp. So we're really excited about all the things that are coming down the pike as we're planning. At this time, we're going to transition into any kind of questions that people might have. So you can kind of throw them in the Q&A feature. We'll answer as many as we can. Right? Someone wants to know about specific campsite for the troop, right? And time. When we put out the pre-camp questionnaire in the beginning of May and looking to have that by the end of May, the date of the virtual leaders update, that's where you can provide any kind of information and preference and things like that. Recordings of this virtual update, the one that we held at the end of February and the one that we'll be having in May are all available on our YouTube channel, Resica Falls. YouTube.com/Resica Falls. And they're all there, as well as a couple other interesting videos that might strike your interest. Masks are not going to be part of our summer 2022 operation at this time. If anything related to that or other COVID mitigation techniques or tactics come into play, we'll be notifying you. But at this time, we're not considering anything like that. There are 4 sessions scheduled for the morning, so that means a scout could potentially take up to 4 merit badges at a time. Scouts are able to bring their own tents, but we do provide tentage, and depending on the size of the tent and the size of the campsite, your own tent might not really fit too well in the site. So we provide the tentage for scouts, 2 people, canvas tent, canvas cot, nice accommodations. If crossovers do not pay until after the due date, could they still come to camp, but just not guaranteed the Rangers program? So at this point, scouts crossovers need to have a $50 deposit as well as the $100 fee that was due by April 1st to access the program registration in Blackpug. So if that's in place, they'll be able to register. Once we get to May 15th, they'll have to have that fee paid in order to get into different program registrations at that point. The permissions for program registration is tied to the fee payment schedule in Blackpug. So that's kind of how it will play itself out. So if they register before May 15th and aren't paid in full, they'll be able to still register for the Rangers or other programs such as merit badges. If it's after then, the fee would have to be paid in full in order to kind of pre-register for any of those programs. And we're really hoping that everyone takes part in the pre-registration because it's worked well the last year or two to make sure that everyone can participate and be in those various programs that they want. Scouts can bring bikes. If they are bringing bikes, they have to follow the 5 miles per hour speed limit in camp, just like any other vehicle. And they need to bring their own helmet as well. But if a scout is riding recklessly or dangerously, their bike riding privilege might be taken away. We need to make sure that everyone in camp is remaining safe. If you have an odd number of scouts, you'll receive enough tentage to accommodate those the number of scouts that you have. So if you have 13 scouts, that means you'll receive 7 tents and for scouts, and someone might get lucky to have a tent on their own, or maybe a leader will get lucky and not have to share a tent. But we assign tents based upon 2 scouts and leaders per tent, and if there's an odd number, just kind of goes from there, and we let the unit decide how with the sleeping arrangements and accommodations are going to be with tent partners and things like that, keeping in mind that the BSA says that tent buddies should be within 2 years of age of one another. Troop trailers, you can bring your troop trailer to camp. If you are going to have a troop trailer with you in camp, we ask that you note that on that pre-camp questionnaire, so that can kind of help Jerry with campsite assignments and put you in a site where the trailer would be a little more accessible and close or in the site rather than just kind of all over the place or further away from your site. All right, questions are dying down a little bit, but we'll kind of wait another minute or so, see if anyone else has any other questions as we're kind of wrapping up with this virtual leaders update. Will the van be available for the lake this year? Absolutely. We're going to continue to run our shuttle service up to the lake from outside Unami Lodge to camp office. The schedule for those shuttle times will be posted on the office door so that we can get scouts up to the lake for their merit badges. And then as well as using the vans to help with troop trips down to the Delaware River and things like that. Resica Rangers that are going on the overnighter will need to provide, their unit will need to provide tents for the scouts that are participating in the Resica Rangers program, right? So that way it's a tent that the scout is hopefully a little bit familiar with. How big are our campsites? Your troop seems to be a pretty decent sized troop. Congratulations, nicely done. But our campsites can accommodate up to our largest campsite can hold 84 people. So we will be more than willing and able to accommodate your troop within one site. And then the sites range in varying sizes from there. So we'll have options for you. Okay, let's see what other stuff is coming. All right, Joe, I'll reach out to you from Flushing One so we can kind of schedule any of that stuff as we're getting closer into the summer. Somebody asked about a car being in the site. We really don't like vehicles inside the campsite. It kind of encourages or could lead to driving around camp, which we really try and minimize as much as possible. So I would say no with the vehicle. If you have your troop trailer, that's fine. And then many units have not had problems with animals and smellables as long as those things are in a kind of a sealed Tupperware container and stuff like that. I know my own troop, if we have snacks in the campsite and things like that, kind of have a Tupperware container in our in a leader's tent that the snacks are in, and never any issue in that regard. All right, what else we got here? ATV. So the ATV Safety Institute, there's the online course. They need to worry about just the online portion, and then they will do the practical portion in camp. So for the ATV e-course, they need to worry about just the online course. For that, someone asked a question about the ATV. Okay, let's see. Saturday arrivals. I'm not sure what you're asking about a decision, but you can kind of reach out to me after the meeting if you want to discuss about Saturday arrival. We'll see if we'll be able to work something out in that regard. Leaders tents are the same size as the scout tents. So it's the 7x9 canvas tent. For leaders as well as scouts. Bikes are allowed in camp, okay, 5 mph speed limit, just like vehicles, as well as wearing a helmet. And then if they're not following the rules, their bike privileges may be taken away. And again, reiterating, rangers participating in the overnighter will need to have a tent with them, right? Not their own tent necessarily. If you have a few scouts participating, tent that can accommodate all those scouts is perfectly fine. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here. All right, Big Springs Camp Map is available on the website under the important document section. So summer camp, importance document, Big Springs Camp Map. That will be there available for anyone that is looking for that. Okay. Swimming, have the boys complete the normal answer. Yeah. So swim tests can be completed in advance of summer camp. We highly encourage that as usual. The pre-camp swim test form is on our website, resicafalls.org. And as we kind of alluded to earlier in the evening, we're hoping that we'll be able to have some opportunities to offer swim tests for those that need it. Not entirely got that firm yet, but that is an opportunity as well for those that might need a swim test before summer camp. But absolutely try and get a swim test scheduled in advance, and the form is on the important documents page. All right. Got a question here about IOLS. Okay. IOLS takes place on Monday and Friday morning. with classroom portions on both of those mornings, okay? And then a little bit of a homework assignment throughout the week. They don't need an additional tent because they'll be already camping in a tent in the campsite. So they won't need a tent or really any outdoor program equipment, but they will participate Monday and Friday in classroom sessions with the instructor, and then have a little bit of homework to do kind of throughout the week. Yep, we accept out of council swim tests as long as the swim test is administered by a certified lifeguard, and we are more than happy to accept that. Merit badges for Resica Rangers, nature and swimming are what we're offering this year. Nature and swimming for the Resica Rangers, in addition to the rank requirements for Scout, Tenderfoot, second class, and first class, right? Someone asked a question about tenting with female leaders and male leaders. Again, that's something that will ask on the pre-camp questionnaire that will come out in the early part of April. That's really a tool for us so that we can really meet your needs and accommodate best as possible. So if you have, I will be looking for male leaders, female leaders, things like that, so that we can kind of make sure that the tonnage is assigned as best as we can. All right. So we've kind of reached the end of our questions here in the Q&A. So we got one more. There is a list of equipment that the Rangers will need located in the program guide in the Rangers section. So you can check that out. So this is the end of our questions at this point. So thank you for joining us. The recording will be available soon, youtube.com/Resica Falls. If you have any questions, you can reach out to myself, Jerry, Jacob, Andy specifically, or individually, or you can just send us an email at hello@resicafalls.org, and somebody will be getting back to you relatively shortly, answering any questions and helping you out as best as we can. So at this point, thank you for joining us this evening. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we will see you on May 31st. Goodbye. Good night.